Best of 7 one more time between Fisher and Stockton. Last time these two teams met, it was a 3-0 in the group stage for Fisher. But of course, so many things can change when you give them a little breathing space.
And best of 7 allows for all of... Being said, maybe Fisher, not a lot to change. I know we mentioned Jovan and Faris. Justus has to be the player to watch for me. I was casting their couple of matches starting in the playoffs, so that CRL run, and clear MVP of the group, willing to make those highlight reel plays again and again.
Yeah, within CRL, there was definitely also a lot of whispers of how often you saw Jovan was the man, and then Justice would be the guy. And then you realize, oh wait, they're all good. They can all be like the players to step up. And if you're looking at Stockton, it's usually Top Cheese as he tried to get to that, but Justice had a weird taking off on the backboard, able to still get the save.
Anthony Pizza with that clear, trying to find a teammate on the counter attack, and Top Cheese with that flip reset to keep Fisher College guessing a little bit. I like the attempt here for the quick counter attacks, but you've got to keep an eye out for that speedy midfield of Fisher. They're ready to break off those passing plays at any point.
Especially if there are the occasional misses. These players have coming into this playing at least a semifinal, so they're definitely not cold, but at the end of the day, there's nerves, especially when you start playing a little bit faster squads, is going to have to figure out what kind of dialing in is going to be required. Right now, it seems like the passing isn't quite there for either team, but they're certainly going to try. Faris, back post, is going to nail that one past all three defenders.
You had to mention it. They had to show off. Justus, he's got this ounce of boost remaining, but look at how lightning fast that pass still is. And Faris, it's a bullet in.
And you even lean into that one. That's one of those things where you're just going for pure contact. Like, I don't even care necessarily about how I approach this one or how delicately I'm able to place it. I know if I just put it to the back post, it'll probably find its way through. Poor Stockton figured the only thing that didn't have to happen was exactly that, a perfect strike into the back post. Now they're looking at their first deficit, first goal going to Fisher, which is not all too surprising. But the way Stockton's been playing, it's not necessarily like they're helpless.
Oh, not whatsoever. But again, thinking back at that shot, it's shot quality, it's shot placement that we're going to keep our eyes on. Anthony Pizza trying to do just that. Air dribble towards that top corner. Does go just wide. Thought maybe the double tap could be there, but there was a backboard defender ready and waiting. Two defending there for Stockton. They'll meet themselves and the ball.
Top Cheese going to nail that one forward. Anthony's chilling upfield, and so is Jovan. He's trying to make sure he's not going to let that one through. Same like Deck on the far side. Going to go to Faris again. Nice skim on target. Top Cheese more than ready. I mean, again, these teams have already played each other, so I'm sure there's no givens when it comes to making some of these saves. You got to contest absolutely everything, and Deck will do just that. Same with Top Cheese, getting only a deflection in the midfield.
Quick challenges, they make sense because look at how quickly the attack is running through. Faris getting each and every extra additional touch towards the corner. Making it difficult for Stockton just to keep up. Again, it's Anthony Pizza across the half-court line, but what then? No boost remaining, no teammate to dump it off to on the 50-50. Still advanced here, march along as Faris wins that challenge. Anthony Pizza bumped away. Jovan could have some space to work with here on the leading bump from Justus, but it's an evasion of the bump and a deflection on the shot for Stockton.
Doing well to try to calculate out these plays. Problem is, you can see Deck right there. A lot of time, but maybe not enough momentum to start up an air dribble. So he tries to hit it into the open space, and Fisher already predicts it. Very good team at being able to almost look at having a glimmer of a gap to be able to say, maybe there's something I can look at right there. And then they close it right down. They're very good at their closing speed, trusting in the rotation. And because of that, it allows them to play really lockdown defense. Even then, when Stockton's trying to probe, steal their boost, Justice is usually around it, doesn't get the ball, gets a deflection of the player, deflection middle, Top Cheese trying to pick out that near post, still can't get it done. Infield pass, Anthony beats a back post, deflected off of another post, and somehow we're still 1-0.
How many layers are there? I mean, seriously, every follow-up chance, every shot seems to be the one that will be the final straw. This one could be it as well. Placed bottom corner with two defenders, even on no boost, still there to put it away. Fisher College have the crystal ball. They know where every shot's going. It doesn't matter how much boost they have.
That's a tilter for Stockton. I mean, you know you're still in this game. It's only 1-0, but really, how many times can you knock on the door until eventually you have to find some way to just take a battering ram right through? There's the first demo, maybe. being able to do just that, but it's still going to be clear to the far side as it continues just ping around the Fisher goal, but not necessarily getting too many direct chances.
Final opportunity for Stockton, but it is just as menacing as ever off the backboard. It takes many chances for Stockton to get close, but sometimes it only takes one for Fisher to put the nail in the coffin.
Really does feel like demonstration sometimes from Fisher. They're saying, no, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it. One nice tap into the backboard, perfectly across into the back post, and you already have someone waiting for it. They're all on the same page. The coordination for Fisher, always extraordinary. And Stockton, despite having 6 shots to their name, matching their opponents nearly, it's just not quite enough at the end. So maybe we'll see one more as Freeze trying to air dribble through. Deck will not allow it, but regardless, it will not change the result. Fisher, 2-0 to start the series on their way to get into that East champion role.
As you mentioned, those shots are similar. The save is the difference maker. That save count, of course, being awarded the winner to Fisher as they were on their back line for quite an amount of time. And I almost want a multiplier on the saves just to get a true quantity, Taco, and to award a bit more when the save is made on low boost. I just felt like the way that Fisher maneuvered around their goal line wasn't helpless. It was very mindful. They could see the Stockton attack forming. They could see where the follow-up shots were coming. And whereas Fisher were able to place those midfield pass shots towards the top corner where defenders weren't, I think Stockton struggled to put their shots away from those goal line defenders of Fisher.
That's a huge difficulty I feel like a lot of teams do face, especially against these top-level CRL players like in Fisher. Stockton definitely in that upper echelon is going to be beating out probably 99% of teams most of the time. With Fisher, it's really not necessarily, oh, you have to play pretty well. You have to play pretty much a complete 5 minutes of flawless Rocket League. And if you give away a mistake goal, that's probably going to be the one that's going to cost you the game. So going into game number 2, that's the one thing I think Stock needs to stick on to. If they do get an open shot, which they have occasionally gotten, you need to drill that on target the best you can, because you're probably not going to get one as good the rest of the 5 minutes.
Makes me think of my current Champ GC days where they say, okay, you know how to play the game. Now you have to play it really well. Those shots have to be powerful, much like the one there from Justice was. Sure, getting started early on here, not only with the shot, but the demolition as well, where it may be on Stockton to force Fisher out of their rhythm. Looks like the rhythm bending is being done by Fisher. That said, Top Cheese, no boost, had an angle maybe on the shot, just couldn't climb high enough.
Okay, we'll see Deck actually get a nice cut out here. So with a demo, Anthony Pizza trying to find Top Cheese, top corner, that's going to be a miss. Pizza's trying to get there, and Anthony still can't quite fit it through the crossbar this time, rescuing the Falcons from falling behind.
And now Javon given time here, but Anthony Pizza able to keep this ball in the blue end zone. How much time does this ball need to spend straddled along the backboard? And to find the one gap, to get the one shot. This one pinch will send Stockton flying on the defensive line. Anthony Pizza makes the perfect save, though, to keep it away and turn this around.
Being able to get that one through, excellently done. But the thing is, you have to do it again and again and again. Maybe just through demos again. I would say there are some aspects from both teams that you really do have to step into. And I think, especially in this era of Rocket League, the defense is so good. A lot of people say, wow, why are you demoing? It's such a cheap tactic. First of all, it's organic. Second of all, how else are you supposed to score sometimes against these defenses? They're just that good.
The era of Rocket League we're in, defense is too good. You've got to remove the defenders. Sometimes it is all that it takes, especially in this game that's 0-0, and with the demo on the line, maybe an avenue has opened up off the demolition. It is Justice to catch and release this ball from the backboard. Up for the bump once again. Anthony Pizza making Farise's job a little bit more difficult there, trying for the elbow shot, but it's denied. Vaughn around and up the corner. Anthony Pizza keeps it away, and Top Cheese fuels up and sends it down. Anthony Pizza again with a 0 boost. Saves how many can be made until they find an exit route, an escape rope. They need something to deliver this ball.
Yeah, especially now as we're trying to chase this one down, and we'll also see Freeze trying to get that flip reset as well. He's going to miss it, but you can see the respect being paid by Top Cheese. No boost to necessarily challenge, but didn't even want to exit the goal line, knowing that most likely that is going to find its way on target, as the boost seems to be drifting away for everybody. Only Freeze really on Fisher having anything.
Forget about the Fisher goal line being a steel curtain. How about the half-court line? We had been in that orange end for nearly a minute, and Jovan wants to go right back to that zone. Has Faris on the wing, opts for the pass, but I think Deck was more keen to it as he slides through that passing lane and cuts it away. Just does one touch, just isn't enough there. Deck almost lines up for the shot, went for the bump and was nearly in position for the shot as well, but the chance dies out.
That's frustrating. Same with this one. That's going to be a dunk well wide. Justice planning his approach. Does get intercepted by Top Cheese as now Faris has to take over. Errant touch onto the backboard. That's a nice shot. Even better as a pass. But Deck, I think, was in between reading that, whether that's going to be a post deflection and out or just the straight backboard, as Stockton really just a matter of getting these unfortunate reads off in really difficult situations, just not quite working in their favor.
So close. It feels like they're on the doorstep. It's felt like that since the beginning of this game. What will it take to push through? Is it the war being waged in the midfield? Is it the battle bus wheels that Top Cheese is wielding? Hard to tell. They've got a minute remaining maybe to take this lead and this win with just one goal.
Especially with Fisher starting to hit the ball a little bit harder than they need to. That could be a giveaway, except the recovery is, of course, there from Just Us. So Stockton back to midfield to try to regain speed out of Anthony. Trying to put that one across. Tony Pizza going to get dispossessed, though. Deck can at least try to get this backflip. Top Cheese kind of crowds him in the back, and therefore that's the avenue that Fisher needs to escape.
7 shots in this game. Chances have been minimal if you consider that between both teams. All it takes is one. Just as in Top Cheese contending for that one, it lands directly on Faris, but it's a giveaway. Anthony Pizza comes up for the clear. Top Cheese faking a challenge. That one's placed high. Could work as a pass. Just as lays right into it. Whoa. And Anthony Pizza's alone on the goal line. Unable to make the read on Faris's dive down.
What is this from Top Cheese? Oh no! What a disaster for that one to go through. He pre-flips it and then gets the deflection. You can see the orange streak on the ball off the backboard. Of all the ways to get scored, of course, it's going to be a little friendly fire, so to speak. And now with the final seconds taken down, Stockton kind of roll their eyes at that one and hope they can mount one more offense with a lead bump. Faris does not get hit, though. So therefore, back to the side while we're going again. No skim available. Justice trying to kill it, and he will do just that. Fisher taking game 2. They're not getting blown away. They really just have to focus on the finishing. I think it's the number one thing I'm seeing out of Stockton. They got it on defense now. Let's see it on the other side of the pitch.
Talk so much about the adaptations that need to be made in Rocket League, but not enough about just composure needed to keep at your current level of play. It is enough and more for Stockton to take these wins, but can everything line up in their favor? It almost does there. At the 15-second mark, Deck tried climbing right over the goalie, but Fisher run away with it again. A setup there denied by Anthony Pizza.
Now he's going to be setting up a fake little musty, a nice flick up and over. Beats the first defender, and at the very least, facilitates Top Cheese, getting some boost steal in. Deflection still from Faris down the line. It's going to be a harder journey than most to be able to get through that back line of defense. Fisher very good at being able to position themselves for these 50s. Maybe not for these aerials, though. That's past everybody except for Faris. Straight into the ceiling. Tony down to Deck, over top of the defense, and there's Stockton's first.
And that shot high was needed. That perfect pass was required. Stockton understand what is necessary to defeat this Fisher team. They've lined it up, they've executed, and they've got a goal on the board.
That's a really nice play as well, because off the sidewall, you do technically have multiple options. You hit that backboard, you can kind of deflect that high, but one of the more quote-unquote predictable lines is to pass the middle. So if you're going to go that avenue and you know Fisher's going to contest that or maybe even wait for that, you have to get there really quick, and that's exactly what Stockton did. Half the chances you can generate on offense are really just trusting your teammates to deliver in a situation, and then you just go with zero hesitation. It's nice to see Stockton get rewarded for that tenacity, despite the fact that, yeah, they've been punched in the mouth a couple times now in these series.
Get right back up and swing again. Top Cheese doing just that. Demolition opens up the lane. Anthony Pizza take the easiest shot of the day. 2 up for Stockton.
This is the art of going for demos. It's not always just, I'm going to take out anyone in my path. It's the timing of it. Someone's about to get 50, take out the back line. And then when that does pop out, especially if you get a favorable 50, it could be just another freebie. This is where Stockton starts to get amped up, and also why there's no need to get down on yourself, because they didn't have that in games 1 and 2. That's exactly the difference here, and maybe even a third of Deck had his way. Can't quite set up the musty as he might have wanted, but regardless, Fisher has a lot to think about. This is a position they are not intimately familiar with throughout the rest of this bracket.
It doesn't feel like this attack has been forced yet today from Fisher, but we could see that change. With 3 minutes remaining, I don't think we'll get there quite yet, especially with the chances that are percolating now. Justice, it's a lob that goes in.
Like this from Faris, just being able to stay near it and eventually communicating with Jovan, take that ball over. Justice has nearly no angle, which is why I think Deck is starting to slow down, didn't use any of the remaining boosts to get back in. He's like, what kind of madman is going to take that one? Well, it's the Flying Dutchman over on Justice, being able to get that one through. And now Stockton might be a little sweaty on the controller, knowing that we're back to a 1-goal game.
Never safe, is it? It wasn't safe at 2 either. And now, Warwage is on. Some uncharacteristic openings still find their way in the midfield. Make this game pivot. Its dynamics can change at any moment, and Anthony Pizza is feeling ready to take advantage. That shot saved by Faris, and Deck wanting to take their time, but with a bumper almost there behind him, forced to play this back. Pizza wanted to dive in on the shot. Instead, it's a pass to Jovan. Now it's a touch back to the midfield line for Reese, and Jovan going for the bump once again on the goalie. Couldn't clear the lane, but they still got the pass. No one in position, though, to finish the job.
Anthony going to catch that one again. Fakes underneath Justice as he's got nothing in the tank, and Stockton's doing well to play around him. In fact, that 50 goes right into top cheese, and now right into Deck again, trying to use that 2's experience, setting up favorable challenges, and if nothing else, it is burning down this time as we're exit out of the kind of beginning of the game into the mid-game in the final 2 minutes. And right now it seems like Fisher trying to get experimental with these passes. It is working somewhat, but sometimes you gotta have a solo play. Faris just does it all himself after the infield 2-2.
This is a mindful approach to the net, recognizing space and lack of backboard defenders. Faris takes high, making this shot so unpredictable, and slowly, meticulously, Fisher have broken down Stockton and tied this game.
Really do like that avenue where I was looking at all these passes in the beginning of the series. I was saying I don't really see a lot, and now that's really all we are witnessing within a lot of these matches. It's just trying to generate pressure, take the avenue less traveled against some of these teams. Poor Deck, if he had a bit more boost, maybe could have found his own path through, but couldn't quite speed that one up enough to beat out the defense. And Anthony Pizza could not get that pass to Jovan. Is that one going to be dispossessed? Happy deflection into Deck into Anthony Pizza, and looks like Stockton improvisationally will still be able to very much so make Fisher wonder, where is this ball going to go? Near post, dunked it, and how in the world is that one going to count?
Well, obviously this is the way you do it. How else? The bump, the demo from Anthony Pizza, or excuse me, Top Cheese opens up the wily lane, the scenic route for Anthony Pizza as he jams his way through.
And this is a majority European roster here. Justice being, I believe, in the U.S. longer than any other Fisher member. I wonder if he uses bruh in comms, because that felt like a bruh moment. But it comes in to the near post dunk. Feel like you have everything covered. It still just gets quadruple 50'd into your net. Back into, or rather back behind Stockton now within this game. And you know they're confident to be able to bring it back. But for Stockton, this has to be probably feeling like the longest 45 seconds of your life.
Oh, and it certainly is, after Faris was the one to nail the shot from high elevation. He was set up for that double tap. Didn't quite what was needed. So the placement of the shot, but the pass over from Justice certainly could have been Faris' chance yet again, but he'll have to wall dash back, and hope that Justice has this set up. All three of Fisher near the ball on the sidewall. They understand that now is the time if they're going to win this game, and all three players are ready to make that play.
Huge fan of how Stockton are playing this one, where they are not just parking the bus on defense and saying, okay, well, come at us and we'll just lock down the defense. They're chasing down that ball. Anthony Pizza, just by chasing, stealing boost, he wastes around pretty much all the time, and because of that one, it's going to have to come down to 0 seconds. Jovan with the catch. Deck says absolutely not. Top G's going to chase that one down, And now Fisher trying to recreate, but there's just no boost for Jovan, so Justice has to hit it into nobody. Heroic, if not a little bit too optimistic from Fisher on some of these passes. It will not work out, and Stockton refuses to go down yet. And when he doesn't have that, it goes right in. That's the difference for Stockton. On top of the physical play, Faris getting slowed down, but not enough to be able to let that one pass him.
I really thought it was enough there for Stockton. They've had the fangs out on the opening kickoff often in this series. They've come close, so close to scoring that opener right away. Feels like if game 5 happens and it doesn't come, I don't know when it will. That one looked a little bit sketchy. Car's having a hard time having all 4 wheels on the ground, but Justice, that's where he's most comfortable, in the air, in the skies, clearing it from his own side.
Zach would be much more comfortable if this ball stopped lobbing up above, especially with no boost. Top Cheese has to back up, put it in reverse to be able to put that one away with the car booty. Now trying to do it again with still no boost. A heroic effort to be at least delay the inevitable. It coming right back in. This time, though, Tech had enough time to get that boost and just temporarily get this one out. Tony Pizza going to clean up the rest.
I gotta say, I think Stockton are doing a great job of taking out the potential heroic plays out of Fisher. When you see Justice with that kind of boost, with that kind of space on the ball in the air, you've got to put a hand up. You can't wait to see what happens. Take the fight to them. It continues to be the challenge. Stockton, and they're doing it, especially in the sense of those demos, those double taps, those setups that almost run them to their first goal.
They're still trying to question how much Fisher really wants to challenge these reads, especially with these deflections off the sidewall. Deck gonna take that one high. He's going for the hard read. He gets it, pinches it almost on a pancake, gets the backboard, and the problem is now it's a 1v1.
What?
Justice with a flip reset, catches it, and of course, Top Cheese left dangling.
Oh, this was just a 1v1 that I thought would come a little bit closer. Top Cheese didn't expect it. Justice had a beeline straight to the net and ends up flopped over. All it takes, like I said earlier, is that kind of space and boost for Justice to get that goal in.
It's frustrating, but maybe not for much longer because Anthony Pizza has that open shot. Jovan gets the save.
What?
Clearly, even when there's an open net, there are no guarantees in high-level CRL.
Again, the kickoffs they favor Stockton, but somehow, some way they can't score and they get punished on the other end. This is devastation.
Okay, typically I said, you know, you just kind of laugh it off. You have these moments, but that's one where you just bang your head against the table saying, okay, you were so convinced. If I had to psychoanalyze that one, get inside their mind, I have to think they had the demo, and it's one of those things where if this is just regular run of play, you'd smack that as hard as possible. But because you know it's an open net, you're like, I have to make sure this is on target. Let's just take our time. And in that half second where they're debating that, that's where Jovan's able to get back and get that save. Frustrating for Stockton, but not out of it yet, and not even out of the series yet. Again, best of 7 to play, and only halfway there for Fisher if they do happen to hang on to this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the way the series has gone, opportunities will still come through here for Stockton. So gluing our eyes to the second half of the game, are we, as Justice is eliminated on the corner, and Top Cheese uses that bit of space to take on the 50-50. It seems like Stockton are comfortable playing this bait and dunk, or these hard reads that you've mentioned, Taco, in order to let them have that first touch, put the hand up, but then punish them on the way down. It's come close to awarding them a couple goals in this game.
I really like that touch from Deck, and also the thought, at least from Top Cheese, to be able to get that first deflection up and over. Now it's going to be leading to Jovan trying to catch this one. Deck fakes past one, might even get it past another one as Freeze really took the back away to get to it, and yet no contact made. So Stockton showing a bit of imprecision here within game 4, and that might be the thing that starts to cost them opportunities, particularly if Faris uncontested in the middle. Tony Pizza able to shut that one down.
Like 2-0 won't be the final score line, because what we've seen from Stockton is they come just inches away from scoring, and if they don't, it's a counterattack punish on the other end. This could be another opportunity where they get near the goal line, but now who's going to be there on the transition defense? Who's going to be there to take up the ball from the logo? It's Faris. All the way by Deck, but Jovan given space here, hits the crossbar. Top Cheese off the ceiling. Justice, a free kick to the net, and Anthony Pizza has a backboard on lockdown.
solid communication. Problem is, it then dispossesses. Anthony Pizza trying to avoid this one. 50s in front of the net. We know how that has gone previously, at least for Fisher, though Stockton seems to be holding on for at least right now, but not necessarily in the boost department. It seems like they keep looking to their own corners, and they're just not there. Fisher's making sure that if they are on offense, they want to have all the resources available to them, and at this point, Stockton just has to rely on these small pads that will occasionally pop on up.
Lots of opportunity here from Justice. Sees Yofan on the mid side. Now Deck with space. Has Justice just barely beat. And Top Cheese in reverse. Why not? Backflip into the ball. Try and get the better 50-50. You've got to try everything at this point. Deck gets a solid challenge at the midfield line. Goes for the demolition. Gets it, but the ball's not on target. It lifts above the crossbar. And the follow-up is in. But now only 13 seconds to equalize.
Oh my god, that was nearly heartbreaking, and then it went from reassuring and then back to heartbreaking, as I'm thinking Yovan's definitely going to rob this one again, but I think he anticipated a much faster aerial from Deck, and yet the slow and steady might have won the race to that ball, but maybe not to the overtime that Stockton are hoping for. That's a solid kickoff, though. Justice into Top Cheese, who cuts it around. He needs a pass, or he just has his own avenue. Fakes out for Reese with the Rule 1 in the corner.
That's what needed to happen. So many favorable kickoffs for Stockton today. The last remaining factor was Rule 1ing the other defender out of the play. 2-2 Stockton might just force OT.
And I love how that developed. You can see Top Cheese look for the pass immediately in the middle and then go away from it. Nearly actually stole it in regulation, but apparently that pass was a bit faster than Top Cheese had anticipated. All these heroics don't really mean anything if you're not able to close it out. Maybe with a demo and boost and passing lane, you can get there. Top Cheese gonna take it off the corner. Maurice is watching it, so is Yovan, but it's going to be Anthony Pizza to it first, but not last, as the deflection will come on through.
Telling you every kickoff, Fisher are just gripping their controllers as tightly as ever. Unless there's any KBM players, not so sure. That said, they do survive it. And now they've gone to a normal waged fight in the midfield. The Deck has won. He tried with the heroics on the pinch earlier. Now he's got the pass down. Shot gets denied for Top Cheese. And Fisher, they survived again.
I think that might have been a save actually from Deck as he was trying to fall down off the backboard. That's so unfortunate, but I really do like the challenge. I think Fisher's being taught that they can't just actually go for these light little cute touches around. Sometimes they have to settle for a tough 50 in a weird position, because that last one was nearly disastrous. Faris got dispossessed in the corner by Deck, and now they had to defend really frenetically up against their own back line. They have survived, so now I think they're just trying to play some possession, taking it left and right, but not much else. Demos continue to rein in for the Osprey.
As they take it left to right, the passing plays just get a little too far from their teammates, so maybe a quicker pace of play was expected between the teammates of Fisher, but line up those passes. Faris looks like they're comfortable doing it themselves. The dribble, the weave in and out just isn't enough to get through, but Yovan's pass to themselves off the ceiling gets the bump afterwards, open up the space for Justice and Faris to take this win in overtime.
And despite all the effort, yeah, it's all about how you close. And right now, Farisi is going to be someone who deserves that coffee. He is a closer, and so are Fisher. Nice little pass after all of that defense being played.
In this series, it is match point for Fisher College in our CECC East Regional.
It's just so devastating again, because this is the margins that we actually see a lot within CRL. If you look at only the Collegiate Rocket League official brackets for qualifiers, you might not necessarily see Stockton super high up there, and you might be thinking, well, I mean, if they're not able to get that far up there or get into these top 8s within the nation, maybe they're just really not really at this level. But then you watch the series, you realize, oh, this is a team in Fisher that came in second in the nation in the past weekend, and then you look at Stockton and say, well, if they're hanging in there, man, the margins are really this small. It really is just sometimes down to how you talk about just a quick little counterattack that makes the difference. A lot of one-goal games. In fact, I believe every one of these games has been one goal. It's not going to be unless it's for defense like that, close one, and yet Stockton gets away.
How? I mean, Anthony Pizza has completely bailed out the Stockton team. It was a little rigmarole there in front of the net by Top Cheese. They got rid of him by Fisher, and wow, what a save off the crossbar to save this game, keep things even. Or Stockton, job not finished. Maybe it's just about completed. That pass down looked spicy, but couldn't connect.
That's a perfect touch right, Deck. He's going to have a reset as well. He can't put that on near post, though Justice was guessing at a certain point. Anthony off backboard. Nice little tap down to Deck. He's going to be able to watch that one clear and leave to his compatriot Top Cheese. Unfortunately, in that brief moment to slow down and get the boost, it's going to be Faris going all the way down. No boost to himself and nearly didn't need it.
Just all-star defense again from Stockton. Stopping every one of these plays that many teams really would fall to from Fisher. Maybe it's not one single play, one off, but it's having them compiled on top of each other again and again that will break down these defenses. But we've watched this series from start to nearly the finish, and it has been a very resilient defense out of Stockton. They've got to do it off the Cookster pinch of the read for Faris. Fortunately for them, Faris cannot find the net. Jovan takes to the corner, and a little extra time now for Stockton.
We'll have to say that Fisher is at the very least keeping Stockton on their toes. That Cooks are all the way down, nearly red and spiked on through. And same with this one, weird deflections of both teams getting tested on their reaction time. Justice will pass that test, and I don't think Top Cheese truly knows that he had the boost advantage on that interaction. Gonna let Justice get a first 50. Faris gets past Deck and trying to dance past Top Cheese to a great degree of success. Fake it underneath Anthony Pizza. Look at the solo play for the assist.
There it is. It all started from 2 beats on the sidewall, and then a little fake magic from Faris saying, if you want to hit this ball, I'm going to put a mean 50 on it, so you better be careful. Sets up Fisher for success.
So now Stockton staring down yet again a 1-goal deficit in a really frustrating way, just getting all the 50s not going their way on that last interaction against Faris getting into Justice's middle pass. So now Stockton gonna have to keep bringing that confidence, but there's that back of the mind urgency that I think can be poison to some squads where it's like, yeah, we need to score, but we have time. But then when you're down in a series like this on match point, suddenly start saying like the alarm bell's going off, you need to make sure you get forward directly, and sometimes that leads to an easy second for Fisher. That's the one thing I hope Stockton can avoid and stay composed about.
Their transition defense has been pretty solid. Top Cheese was playing a deep third, so they seem to be prepared for a sense of urgency play that goes sour, at least so far. 100 seconds left on the clock, so maybe they do advance or march just a little bit further themselves, all of them, especially as the ball in the corner on the offensive side. Jovan tracking this from the ceiling. The pinch, thought it would be there, but it comes off of him just a little bit light. And as Justice tries to follow this ball on the goal line, everybody from Stockton is attacking. Even Anthony Pizza cuts and turns on 0 boost. Deck has nothing as well. Top Cheese with 0, and it's up to Anthony Pizza to make a save here. Fortunately, Faris can't get it in.
Come on, what a catch and carry. Oh my goodness, on a dime, and all of Stockton left wondering how did that happen.
Oh, it happened because Jovan was right in the perfect place at the right time, advancing forward, ball spills out, and it's just all about the dribble mechanics there. You mentioned it, Fisher could easily go up 2-0 if something goes awry, and here we are.
Deck, deft pass into Top Cheese. He's trying to get everything on it, and even then, goal line save from Fisher. Trying again with Deck, trying to plow their way through in the near post. Justice has the favorable angle coming from that back corner, and they get that clear again. Stockton in, again, an unenviable position, having to bring in 2 goals. They did it last game, but they had a lot more the last time. There's at least 1 as the giveaway is going to be said. Thank you very much from Deck.
Deck's been performing these hard reads from the very beginning of this series. We mentioned that Fisher had the crystal ball early on with the defensive saves, but Deck has done it on attack. Lovely challenge from the ceiling to keep Stockton in it.
So now we'll see if Top Cheese can strut some similar form of brilliance, or maybe Deck has another read in his back pocket. Jovan's going to make sure he doesn't have it on that first one, but Deck gets a brilliant pass down into Anthony. Can't get the contact. Top Cheese sidewall immediately gives it up as Jovan was playing that angle. But again, the creativity from Stockton will never cease, and now they have only 15 seconds to pull something else out of a hat.
But I like this. That was a two-pronged effort there. The quick challenge was smart from Fisher, but hasn't been enough there. As from Anthony Pizza leads to a chance over on the other side. Dex alone. Here's Top Cheese eliminated. He has no boost to make a play on the ball. And Yvonne cradles it safely to the ground. Fisher, your CECC East Regional winners.